Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. Hospitalizations are on the rise in Arkansas. Doctors say they're seeing a high number of patients with respiratory illnesses like COVID and the flu. Both Mercy hospitals say their intensive care units are at capacity right now. Washington Regional is also seeing a high number of patients who need intensive care. The Arkansas Department of Health says hospitalizations statewide stand at 405, but this time last year they were at 1,500. The state epidemiologist says the new COVID-19 variant is rapidly gaining ground. All right, before we get to other top news around our area, let's get a check of that weather heading into the weekend with meteorologist Zach Scott. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Joe, this is what it's looking like for your Friday, the weekend ahead. We've got temperatures warmer for us, northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We're going 50s today, northwest Arkansas. You only really topped out mostly in the upper 40s yesterday. We do have scattered mid to higher level clouds filtering in from Oklahoma, and that's going to filter out the sunshine. So it's not going to be all sunshine, blue skies like we saw Thursday, but we are a little bit warmer. We've got a south breeze, and we're tracking the chance for some sprinkles. Now, more moisture will build as we go overnight into Saturday, and that will allow us for a little bit better chance for some patchy drizzle or light morning showers. Temperatures will peak into the lower 50s and may actually cool as that front passes through the day, more into the 40s during the afternoon. Clouds stick around, and then we're cooler on the backside of the front with afternoon sunshine on Sunday. The River Valley, you got 60s for your Friday. You hit the mid 50s on Thursday, so a little warm up, still cool 50s and 60s across the region because we have those clouds filtering out some of that sunshine, and those winds, they're gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour across the region. So a breezy wind, a cool January day for us. We'll look for temperatures to get into the 50s on Saturday. Patchy morning drizzle, spotty shower. Could see some areas with a lingering light shower early afternoon, then looking drier in the afternoon and evening hours. And then we're cooler with afternoon sunshine on Sunday. Here's a look at highs for your Friday. 50s to lower 60s off towards the south. 10% chance for that spotty sprinkle. Again, you may notice some rain showing up on radar at times, but there's a lot of dry air that it has to fall through, and because of that, most of it's going to evaporate, though some sprinkles will survive the trip. Again, the scattered mid to higher level clouds coming into the region, they'll stay thick as we go overnight into your Saturday. And again, as we go into Saturday, a little bit more moisture starts to build as a front starts to get closer to us, and we'll have a chance for some patchy drizzle and some spotty light showers, especially through the morning hours. The drier air will start to move in by the afternoon. We could linger with a light shower to the southeast, but overall we'll look for drier weather to come in the back half of the day on Saturday. Joe?
All right, thanks so much, Zach. Now, as we head into this weekend, we want to get you caught up on some stories that were topped this week that you may have missed. The Arkansas Department of Transportation says they're spending $5 to $7 million each year fixing potholes. Departments are expecting reports in the coming weeks and even months. 5 News reporter Jose Carranza shows us how those pesky potholes form and what's done to fix them.
There are few things that can induce road rage on your daily drive: traffic, other drivers, and of course potholes. And while for some, there may be a human at the other end, for potholes, you may want to blame Mother Nature.
We understand potholes are very frustrating.
Whether you dodge them or take them head on, right now is the time you may begin to see more potholes form on roads.
The way that they're formed primarily is during the freeze-thaw cycle. You get a little bit of water or depression underneath the road that freezes up, expands, causes that depression to sink in and get a little bit deeper, and then you start getting the pothole forming.
Benton County spokesperson Melody Kwok urges drivers to report any potholes they come across. Soon after, you may get a call from the road department.
We have a lot of roads, and some of those roads are several miles long. So if you just say there's something out on railroad cut that needs to be fixed, we need a little bit more specifics on something like that.
Kwok says spring and fall are the optimal times to repair potholes, but crews work year-round. It all depends on the moisture.
If your dirt roads are dry, dusty, not a lot you can do about it. And the same thing with water. If it's wet and muddy, you go out there, try to fix it, you're just going to make a bigger mud hole.
But once the conditions are just right, road crews get to work to make your drive easier.
And so the next time you hit a pothole on your daily drive, report it to the appropriate road department, and hopefully they'll have it looking like this in no time.
That was Jose Carranza reporting. Now, another story this week that you may have missed with a pretty big interview. The new year bringing a new sheriff to Crawford County. 5 News reporter Ian Taylor sat down with Daniel Perry as he takes over an office in the middle of several high-profile incidents.
3 days into the new year, Crawford County has a new sheriff in town. It's taking time to get used to the new job and title, but the man in charge has hit the ground running.
It's been interesting. I'm getting started. Got pages and pages full of things that I want to get accomplished.
Daniel Perry won a primary runoff election in the spring and went uncontested in November. He's been working with the department since July, but brings decades of experience to the job.
I've been in law enforcement for a little over 31 years, and I just growing up around law enforcement and being part here in Crawford County, I just felt that I could make a change and make it better than what it was.
Perry inherited a department at the center of multiple high-profile events last year. That includes the violent arrest involving 2 Crawford County deputies caught on camera in August, the death of a jail inmate in October, and the escape of another inmate in November. Incidents Perry is eager to address with the entire department.
I'm not here to get rid of anybody. I want the best qualified people.
Sheriff Perry says that all starts with transparency and
It's a lot of accountability, things like that I wanted documented, and that way the officer or detention worker or whoever, if they've got any question, the policy is going to be right there at their fingertips.
Despite just 3 days on the job, there's already some changes to be seen, like new fencing. According to Perry, that's just the beginning. He says funding is in place to acquire body cams and dash cams for deputies, and
we'll have more deputies out in the community. The patrol areas will increase.
And he plans to foster new relationships across the community.
I just want it to be a professional agency. That's what the people expect. That's what the people deserve.
In Crawford County, covering news where you live, Ian Taylor, 5 News.
And we told you hospitals across our area are seeing a lot of patients being admitted with respiratory illnesses like COVID and the flu. Well, 5 News reporter Catherine Gilker tells us what's contributing to this increase and what you can do to protect yourself.
Sickness is often the aftermath of the holiday season with lots of gatherings the last 2 months. And because of this, hospitals are seeing quite the increase. Mercy Hospital Northwest and Fort Smith both continue to see a high number of patients with respiratory illnesses, so many that they are currently at ICU capacity. And Washington Regional is also seeing a high number of patients, with many who need intensive care. But they say they are seeing the number of people admitted with the flu beginning to drop. But the number of patients being admitted with COVID continues to slowly climb.
Right now, that is predominantly COVID-19 and influenza. We had an earlier start to the flu season than previous pre-pandemic seasons. That has thankfully slowed a bit, but is still quite high.
Dr. Mike Sema says COVID-19 cases have been increasing since the Thanksgiving holiday, and both flu and COVID are contributing to the rise in hospitalizations. He says even though 405 hospitalizations statewide may sound high, hospitalizations got up to more than 1,500 this time last year with the Omicron surge. He says the best way to protect yourself is getting the updated vaccine.
When I'm talking about being up to date on your vaccinations right now, that means having received your updated bivalent booster. That is more well paired with the variants that are spreading around the state and have been spreading around the state since the fall.
According to Dr. Sema, the newest COVID variant is rapidly gaining ground across the nation, and it's expected to soon be the dominant variant.
Appears to be the most transmissible and the most immunoevasive, building on each variant that has come before it, all sublineages of Omicron. What we don't know at this point definitively is if it causes more severe disease. Right now, there's no evidence to suggest that it does cause more severe disease, but our knowledge about this variant is evolving, and the data are scarce.
Covering news where you live, Catherine Gilker, 5 News.
Well, those are some of the top news stories you may have missed this week. Make sure to catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more. I'm Joe Ellison. Have a good weekend.